Mighty Dwarf is a wonderful thing. He likes to fight and he likes to sing. A mighty dwarf is a frightening thing. He likes Frank Sinatra and he also likes Bing. 5,000 fully armed and filthy subscribers. To all of your subscribers, I've got 600 Kickstarter backers. We're gonna come and get you. It's hard to care about your stinking D&D when me and my 600 backers over here have raised a bunch of money for our next adventure so I can buy a freaking wagon. Meanwhile, all you're doing is playing D&D. Huh? What? To hell with your stinking Kickstarter backers. Our D&D folks on YouTube, all the subscribers, we were here long before Kickstarter ever even came up. Come on, hankering for an ale. It's time to show me what you're made of. Huh? Nah, we don't care. We're over there playing card games, new indie games. We're playing all kinds of weird games. We've had enough of D&D. I don't know anything about card games. All I like to play is bone crushing, dragon slaying, trap fixing, gold hoarding, town burning, good old fashioned axe wielding, shield banging D&D. I actually would like to play some little bit of D&D right now. Well then, why are we fighting? If you want to be cooperative, then we should join forces, and all year we can come up with all kinds of crazy crap. We're not enemies after all. You want to play some bone crushing D&D? I also want to play D&D. We're a team! Team! Greetings, programs. Welcome back to Drunken's and Dragons. How to play D&D like a big old badass. That's what we're doing around here. And it's nice to be back in the lair, in the chair, hanging out with y'all, talking about tabletop games. Okay, wow, things are just getting exciting around here. So, first off, I gotta say thank you everybody, both on the subscriber side, so we're well past 5,000 now, totally trucking. Great to have all you lumpy-headed, fully armed and filthy crazy people all hanging out, thinking about how to up your D&D game. Great to have you guys around. And then a huge thanks goes out to everybody who contributed to the Daring and Doomed Kickstarter. Execute some game products for everybody out there that not only talk about the principles of Drunken's and Dragons, of playing tabletop like a badass, but actually execute on those principles and deliver games that do what we're talking about doing. That is the real plan here. It was not the plan at the beginning. The plan at the beginning, I think, was just to have an excuse to get drunk on camera. But man, have we come a long way since then. And it's all because of you guys. The whole idea originally was just to screw around and play some D&D. Nothing weird was going to happen. But just all the different conversations that got started, people asking questions, people getting excited. It elevated my game. It pushed me to do more on the channel. And then I think that got more interest from people, and it created a feedback loop, which is still going. I'm sure Scotty is really familiar with how exciting this feedback loop can be and how it can drive your hobby creativity and just your enthusiasm for tabletop in general, not just, that excited feeling for Friday night coming up and it's time to play D&D, but the whole hobby. Remember, in my mind, 3/4 of the, we're going to do percentages or fractions. 3/4 of the game, of the hobby, is off the table. It's learning, it's reading, it's becoming inspired, it's finding new ideas, it's hybridizing, it's mining, it's collecting, and just, shooting the shit with your buddies, talking about that time when you decapitated a mind flayer. Anyway, that was my big thank you. I know I did it in my own convoluted, messed up way there, but thank you everybody for all the support in 2015. We're going into 2016 on fire, so if it seems like there's a few less videos, you might want to get used to it. It might be about one a week now. maybe 2 a week when there's nothing to do on the weekends, because there's a lot of other stuff now starting to bubble up and munch time. For one thing, I have 2 groups going. So I have my D&D 5th edition group, and we just transferred over into playing into Awful Good Games' Sundered World, or sort of my version of it, and we're going to get into some crazy like Spelljammer type stuff. Then I have my new group, which started as a Dungeon World group, but already I think we've left Dungeon World in the dust, and we're finally taking the plunge into building a custom RPG. Now, I don't want to say too much about it because already a lot of research and work has gone into it, and I think we finally have our magic nugget. We're going to work on that magic nugget for 2 or 3 months, play the hell out of it, and build out a lot of content, and then you're going to be seeing another awesome Kickstarter coming your way. Why Kickstarter, you ask? What the hell? Kickstarter is great because if you're not already rolling in revenue from creating game product, you can get faithful users who will help you out with the startup capital. The startup capital is the hard part, man. Now, once you got momentum rolling, you can just publish your own stuff. You don't need Kickstarter to get that upfront capital. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see Runehammer Games rolling up on Kickstarter for, 2016 and 2017 as well, to get that war chest built up and really make this a brand of game awesomeness that you can count on, that you want to show up to every time. Okay, enough. Woo! That was just the intro. Oh yeah, you can really taste Lake Tahoe in that coffee. All right, so what's the junk on the table here? Well, I just wanted to talk really quick about some of the stuff that has been swirling around in my brain lately. You're probably wondering, where the hell has Hankerin been ever since Salag arose from his pit dimension door. I've been really busy and haven't been really churning out videos like I've been known to at times. I've been in research mode. I have been in gather mode. I'm trying to up the game. Why, you ask? Well, I think this is why I have this little pile of stuff here. What really got it started is this trifecta right here. This is what really got my brain moving. Now let me talk through each piece. First of all, this is an anthology of Savage Sword of Conan comics from the 70s. You can get these anthologies for like $15, and it's like 20 issues of some of the most incredibly well-inked Dungeon Master treasure trove right here. Everything in these stories is directly translatable into cool adventures, story starters, trap ideas, characters, just everything in here. It's just a wealth. And this is representative of some of the old way of doing this kind of work. It's just dense with content. Hell yeah, get Savage Sword of Conan. So I got this and started reading it. And I was just like, man, this is an amazing value. My mind is being blown. I think I'm going to do one of these kind of moonlit statue adventure things. And blah, 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 blah. Okay, right. So then I'm kicking it in the mall with my homies, looking for the New Kids on the Block CD. But I was like, hey man, my groups are in the Sword Coast. We play up around the Grey Peaks by High Forest and by Lork. You guys probably remember that my main group, is basically the rulers of the small town of Lork, a mining town. So I was like, hey, maybe this will add a little more detail and a little more wealth. I mean, if I get 3 good adventure ideas out of this book, then it'll be worth the, $40? $40 for this thing. So I don't think I need to spend too long telling you how bad this book is. This is vague, derivative, and repetitive of old material from D&D. So it's basically the Forgotten Realms and the Sword Coast in particular, but in very little detail and in jumbled order. So you can't look up a location on the map, which, by the way, 40 to 50% of the locations that are on that Sword Coast map aren't included here. So you can't look a thing up and then just find its concordant entry and be like, where's my stat blocks and where's my interesting stuff? Also, there's barely any stat blocks in this thing. There's a little bit of stuff about character classes, but it's like, you want to make a Sword Coast barbarian? Give him spiked armor. And I'm just like, what? Seriously? Come on. So, plus this thing is tiny. Now the art is fantastic, and the production value. I mean, D&D nails it on that front. You can't put this in your backpack though because it's too big. But anyway, damn guys, this. And we're going to get to a thesis here. finally, oh, many of you know about this. I'm sure a lot of you have already been playing it or have played it in the past. This is a game called Mouse Guard. This has been around since I think about 2008-ish, and the comic book Mouse Guard has been around since I think 2005. And that is, oh, what's his name? Williams something or other? Oh, Peterson. David Peterson is the artist who did Mouse Guard, the comic book. The comic book is so awesome, had so much momentum that he wanted to make an RPG out of it. Luke Crane showed up, the guy from Burning Wheel, and he's like, yo, check this out. Got involved and made this game. So this is one of the most inspiring, high quality, dense, awesome purchases you can make in RPG land. Just this box alone weighs like 40 fucking pounds. This thing is burly. It's tightly packed with awesome. The box is by itself is just like, I want to go on some kind of adventure. I don't even know what's happening. You get inside, you get custom dice, you get a great softcover rule book, you get a supplemental book, and you get a super cool DM screen. It's all in square format. It's just highly innovative. Now, the actual mechanical system behind Mouse Guard is basically Burning Wheel, but really light. So it uses dice pooling and obstacle setting, and then that crazy kind of think ahead of time combat resolution system that Luke Crane has done. So very innovative, and if you get used to it, I'm sure it has a lot of promise to it. So if you liked Burning Wheel, you're going to love this. It's a lot more casual, a lot easier to get into. But the point is that for, I think I got this on Amazon for $50. Retail, this is like $80. The point is that for that same $50 that I got this for 40, and I got this for under $20, I could have gotten 2 or 3 of these bad boys. I got Dungeon World for $18. This is where, I'm sorry to be trolling Wizards of the Coast right now, but just for value, for tabletop value, this is not cutting the mustard. Okay, let's jump to another one. It's from Awful Good Games. I'm always talking about A Sundered World. I have the color paperback of his book coming, and that was $27. And that's like a 450-page Bible of incredible world building that's all mind-blowing and highly original. For almost half, for much less than the cost of this dinky thing. So what's your damn point, Hankerin? Are you just over here in a cranky mood about D&D and about WotC right now? Nah, I'm fine. The thesis behind talking about all this value stuff, normally I don't talk about like what things cost and go save your money and all that stuff, because I more just want to go be awesome. And if it costs money, it costs money. And if I'm broke, I'm broke, whatever. The point behind all this is that I'm sensing a little bit of a change in the wind, and I'm sure a lot of people are. Now, Dungeons and Dragons is by far mechanically the best tabletop game maybe ever made. It's intuitive for millions of people, literally millions. It's easy to learn, easy to hack, easy to homebrew, and the task-based mechanic behind it and building classes and making saving throws, it's all so ingrained in our brains. It's really hard to beat D&D as your fundamental go-to badass 3D terrain tabletop game. The way they're making these products, the places they're taking their world, and now they're going to bring Strahd back. There's a change in the wind, guys. You're not going to get the coolest stuff just by buying WotC's new books. Now, I'm not saying forget D&D, go play Mouse Guard. Although you should try Mouse Guard at least once. It's awesome. What I am saying is take your game to the next level and look elsewhere. Spread your dollar out across the tabletop industry. Last year, hobby gaming grew by something crazy like 20%. So I think we're about to cap $1 billion industry, which it has never been before. So 2014 and 2015 have been banner years for hobby gaming and tabletop gaming. You've probably noticed that a lot of people are now starting to play board games. Weird ones too, you've never heard of. A lot more people are getting into D&D. We got these weird things happening where celebrities are playing D&D on YouTube. What the hell's that? I mean, if they get a shot with Jason Statham playing D&D, we really know that the times are changing. This, to me, represents the mission for 2016, is begin to look deeper, look elsewhere, and really demand more out of a tabletop game. It's really hard to take someone else's creative work and adapt it to your particular players in a meaningful way. it feels like they're playing a little bit, to me, through a video game. So you get some more crafted intricacy with story detail and encounter detail, but at the cost of a custom-made world built for those players. Whew. So anyway, hell yeah. This is my mission in 2016. I'm gonna bring it all together. And after Kickstarter was such a wild success, I've got a lot more confidence and I've got a little bit more of a war chest to attack the problem directly as a game creator. Buy things, tell me what you think of Mouse Guard, tell me what you think of Conan Savage Sword. If you're getting Daring and the Doomed, or if you already made your print and play, let me know if you like it. This is a great game to play when you're cooling off after a session of D&D. It's just really very easy to play, and you don't necessarily just want to walk right out the door after having like 2 flagons of mead while you're playing D&D. Remember too, there's still Dungeon World, so keep researching your Dungeon World. And when Strahd comes out, of course you're going to buy it. I mean, you got to know what happens to Strahd, so we'll see if that's any good or if it's just derivative, and we'll see how they treated it. I mean, Chris Perkins, I think, is working directly on it, so I believe in him. I mean, also, that's another thing. Green Ronin, I think, wrote this book. The writing quality's great. It's like everything they're doing on a granular level is fantastic. It's just their orders are bad. They're getting bad orders. So Green Ronin rolled up and said, hey, we can write whatever book you want to write, wizards. And someone gave them the order of like, write a small, undetailed, derivative Sword Coast thing that really is not going to be used in anybody's game. And, keep it under 150 pages or whatever. That was the mistake they made. Not the writing quality, the art quality. I mean, the cover of this book is totally awesome. I love the cover. So, it's a mixed bag. We're all fans, we're all trolls, all at the same time. At least that's me. I'm going to just go ahead and speak for all 5,600 of you. Okay, well, I think that's about it. I just wanted to get that rally cry out there. 2016, come on, let's hybridize, let's hack, let's go crazy. And just build this tabletop madness into something even nutsoer. Wow, that is awful. Those of old will guide me through the challenges, give me the strength I need to endure my disappointments and to carry my victories with grace. I hope, because I could use all the help I can get. Again, thank you everybody for all the support on Kickstarter and reaching 5,000 subscribers.